if you could ask Cathie Wood 3 questions and give her some NFA, what would you say to her? Well, this is this is an interesting question, and I love it. First of all, out of the gate, I have total respect and admiration for Cathie Wood. All right. And this takes me to the whole thing of investing is extremely difficult. And she's one of the few people I will actually watch on YouTube. I love her team. I love her research. She was able to peg Tesla before anybody else did with very, very accurate price predictions. So all good with me and Cathie Wood. But I do have 3 questions. And I would love the opportunity to ask her these questions. So if she's listening, which she's probably not, I'd give anything to sit down with her. And by the way, I did meet her at the We Robot event. I was just some random guy saying, "Hey, Cathie, I love your work." And she was beside 2 other people from her team. Of course, she didn't know who I was. So anyway, back to Cathie. The 3 questions I would ask. First, she has, again, I must say this with huge respect, her team, her research are second to none, in my opinion. But she does have high conviction in some names, long-term holdings, that she doesn't shake loose. So I always say keep your tap dancing shoes on. If an asset turns against you, cut it, move on. Do not get married to any asset. I think she sometimes holds some assets too long. So that would be kind of my first question. And let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. And people watching here may remember some of these names. Invite went to 0, okay? And it shows you how hard investing is. I'm probably going to stress that a few times today. Then another company is Nano Dimension. These are all on the ATR model. They're all zombies. It's basically has gone nowhere but down. Workhorse, nowhere but down. And these companies are interesting companies, but just didn't make it happen. Roku, down, way off the highs. Sub-level 1, it's a zombie 2. Zoom, boom, way off the highs. And I know it was a very special time during C19, but then again, this hasn't done anything. Pac Pacific Biosciences, same thing, another zombie. And these are just some of the names that, they've had a lot of conviction in, a lot of research. Maybe one day these things will come to the fore, but I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But let's get back to the other question. So that was my first thing is, why do you hold these things? And I know she's been shedding them and some have died, but she held many of them way too long, in my opinion. Second question, why do you continue to sell Tesla so early? Because you know where Tesla's going. Your price targets are through the moon. And I understand you've got your 10% rule where you can't have more than 10% allocation to one asset, but that needs to change. Okay, let your winners ride. Number 1 rule of investing. Let your winners run, whatever you want to say. But I would question it. And would they ever change that 10% rule? Because instead of selling good quality Tesla at like $250, $300 and then buying garbage, you could just hold it because you know it's going to 2,000 easy in a couple of years. So that's my second question. And third, market timing. I remember a very specific point in time. It was actually the moment I bought NVIDIA. And a day or so later, she sold it. And I'm like, damn, that's not good. Did I screw up? I still held it, but it ended up being an excellent trade. Along with Meta back in those glorious times. But the point is, why did she sell? And that brings about the question about her market timing. Does she feel she works better on it, or is she so deep in research that she misses some of these things? Again, utmost respect for her and her team and their work, but it brings me back to the point is investing is hard. She is top level and still can screw up. So I just want people to really take this away from today's video. Do not take investing for granted. Do not think you're going to make a 10x or 100x on one asset. That is not realistic. Investing is extremely difficult. And I spent 35 years trying to build deep processes and models around how to make it easier and to improve the odds of winning. So on that note, they would be my 3 questions for Cathie. Thank you for that great question.